Honestly, I was ready to go back. I was ready to call it a wrap.
She's scary.
It's not even just that I'm scary. It's just that we didn't flown all this way to be on a nice property for a raccoon to cross. And we're on the beach. Who expects a raccoon? Who expects to see a raccoon on the beach?
I don't know, but they were.
Y'all, I ain't gonna lie. After that whole day, mind you, before going to the airport, we had to go take care of business with our marriage license. What's up, Double A fam? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. If you have been rocking with us for a minute, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And if we've just been coming across your, platform from time to time and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It will help us out. If you're new to our channel, welcome. We are Ari and Adrian. And we
say my name for me like that.
Okay, let's do it again. We are Ari and
Adrian.
And what we do is we just travel, we live life, and we just post it for everyone to see. So if you see something you like, just, engage with us in the comments. Let us know if you have questions, and we are more than happy to answer them. So what we're going to talk about in this video is something that I think a lot of people have an interest in because we all like to travel, right?
For
sure. We're going to talk about the truth
about our honeymoon in
Breathless all-inclusive resort in Cancun, Mexico. But before we do that, if you have not checked out our cruise content, we just came from a 6-day cruise to Mexico, well, really Central America, and we traveled to Mexico. Go ahead and check that out. We did an embarkation video. So if you've never been on a cruise, that's a really good video to watch because it gives you an idea of what to expect when you get on the cruise. And then we also did an honest review too, because we feel like a lot of people don't really tell the whole truth when they're going on a cruise.
They be capping.
And it may be on purpose, may not be on purpose. I don't know, but we told our truth. Yeah. So if you're interested in that, make sure you go back and take a look at those videos. And we'll also link them below as well. And yeah, so ready to get into it? Yeah. Okay, so we can't talk about the truth about this resort before talking about the process, right? Because it was a process. So if you've ever booked a flight, you may have experienced this before, or you may have heard other people experience this, and it's that their flight gets delayed. Honestly, I saw it on TV and I heard about it, but I never thought it was going to happen to me or to us. But it has happened to me in the past, and it definitely happened to us for our honeymoon.
Like a movie.
So our flight got delayed, not once, not twice, probably like 3, 4, 5 times. Like we kept getting the text messages.
Headed to the airport at that.
Yeah, well, it was all day. It was all day, and it was headed to the airport. We kept getting text messages saying that it was going to be delayed. It was going to be delayed. And he kept saying, well, do you still want to get there on time? And I was like, yeah, might as well, because too many horror stories of missing flights and all that. So we had already set up an appointment for TSA, which was solid.
Shockingly.
I know.
It was smooth.
That was so solid. And no, we do not have TSA pre-check, because I know a lot of people probably think that. No TSA pre-check. I'm telling you, we never did the process. It was not clear. It was not none of those other services that you use to get through security faster. We literally just signed up for an appointment slot for security. We arrived.
But before TSA, we got to talk about the...
So hold on. So let me just finish that part. So our flight got delayed quite a few times, and we said, you know what? Let's still get there on time, because you just never know. And traffic was a little crazy pulling up to the airport.
So construction going on.
Yeah, so we had to figure it out. I think we looped around one more time, and then we got there. So we got there nonetheless with good time to spare. So he's right. There's something else that happened right before TSA, getting through. And
so I don't necessarily remember like vividly, but then we took 2 bags. No, we took one bag.
We took one large suitcase and one carry-on.
So now
wait, the reason why we took one bag was because we used a travel agent. Shout out to Travel Under the Sun with my girl Shauna. She was our travel agent, and she booked all of our stuff. And we flew with United. Yeah. We've never done that before. We've always flown Southwest, because we were always going to like pretty local.
Yeah.
So we've always flown with Southwest, and Southwest you get 2 free bags. So you know.
But we never doing Southwest again.
Yes, we're never gonna do Southwest
ever again
if we don't have to. But this one, you have to pay for your luggage to get checked in. So we were like, okay, let's just do one big suitcase packed together, and then we'll take one carry-on with like our toiletries and like other stuff and just little stuff. But yeah, so that's what we pulled up with.
So, make a long story short, now if you're in a relationship, you know that women have a lot of stuff. So, make a long story short, we get in line, everything is flawless. We get up there. I think it's the max is 50 pounds. Is it 50?
Maybe 50 or 75. I can't remember.
Whatever the limit was, just know we was over it.
Just know.
So the guy was like, I said, how much does it charge? How much do you guys charge, for overweight?
Yeah.
He said $200. And he said, I ain't gonna lie to you, sir. If it was me, I wouldn't spend $200. I'll throw some stuff away because you could use that money to drink at
But not only that, like to check the bag was less than that.
Literally.
To check the bag was like $50.
Just picture us. We don't got footage of it, but just picture us on the side
in the middle of the airport.
Everybody around, and we just
pull it. I'm embarrassed, y'all. Hey, hold on. If y'all know me, y'all know that I try my best to be organized. I try my best to minimize interruptions. I just try my best. And the fact that we were in the middle of this area,
I was willing to pay, but he told me no.
Suitcase wide open, taking stuff out.
Everything.
That was an humbling experience. we were taking clothes out, rolling them up, putting them in our carry-on. Like that was an experience. But nonetheless, we did it. We made it.
Then after, let's get to the plane process. So after TSA, we go through.
Yeah.
And did we win these before we all that?
Yeah. So we were in the airport. And it was cool. I think once we got in, I think we had a peace of mind. Like we were all good. We were just exploring the airport. We had time. I think we had maybe 2 hours, hour and a half, something like that. We had time to spare. So we were chilling, and we had to like look at the big board to see where our plane was gonna be. So we ended up eating Wendy's, and that was pretty good. And then when we figured out where our what is the terminal? Our terminal was, they had moved it, right? They had moved it. And so when we finally found it, everyone was there waiting, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to speed past this part because obviously now it's just us chilling. Like we're chilling, finding somewhere to be. It's an airport, so you're going to see crazies. Like it's going to be a lot of stuff happening. But we were there, and next thing you know, it's time to board, right? And I should say that the airplane was actually leaving on time. So how many times did I tell y'all that the flight was delayed? It was about 3 or more times. And by the time we actually got there and we're ready to like just be here until it's ready to board, it was ready to board on time. So we were like, great, this is great, fine, whatever. Glad we got here. So we, they called the numbers, the groups, the letters, all that stuff to line up. And so we finally get in line after like group A. I think we were group C, right? Group A went, group B went. We're group C, and we lined up, we ready. Everybody going on a plane. Group C is one of the last groups. Sometimes there's a D, but group C is the last group. We get on, we get to the front of the line. They scanning. Y'all. They got to us. Mind you, A, B, and half of C is already on the plane. They get to us. He scanned it. But then he got an alert.
He scanned yours.
Yeah, he scanned my boarding pass, and then he got an alert, and I looked at Adrian like, oh shit. What did we do now? So I'm internally like just going through it like, oh my God, what's going on? And then he was like, oh, hold on. He, talking whatever. And then next thing you know, he puts a call on I don't know how he did it, but basically he had to call for everyone to deboard the plane. Everybody who was on the plane had to get off the plane, which meant our spot in line is no longer valid. And now we have to start this whole process over whenever they're ready. So the reason they had to deboard the plane was because the plane needed a tire change.
Yeah. It took about
another hour.
Was it an hour?
Almost,
yeah.
Yeah, it took another hour. Y'all, airports, if airports are not for the weak at heart, because it was making like at this point we were just so like over it because we're trying to get to our destination. Not to mention, we completely forgot to mention though that before we even got to the airport, we were contemplating on when we were coming back because of
Hurricane Beryl.
So we were already on edge going, y'all, because we were trying to think about the coming back part, and like it was just so much. And so when all of this was happening, we were just like, bro, what the F? So anyway, they deboarded the plane, and from there everything was smooth. In terms of getting back on the plane taking off, like everything happened the way it needed to happen. So we ended up making it to
Cancun, and the airport at Cancun was sketchy. First of all, it was like a long stretch, and then it was like it looked. I will say, leaving Cancun airport versus arriving is two different things because it looked very sketchy when you get there.
Yeah, it looks like we were like in a back alley underground.
It was crazy, but who was the people we traveled with? I forgot.
The people we traveled. Oh, the transport.
Yeah, I forgot. Amstar. So, what time? It was late when we got there. Maybe like almost
10.
So it was pitch black dark. So we got in the van with, of course, other people. And I thought they was going to the same resort we were going to, but they weren't. And we got, first of all, I don't know if there's no speed limits, but Buddy was on the gas. And then we made a left, and we was just in the woods.
Y'all. If you know Adrian, because I always say if you know me, but if you know Adrian, eyes was a swivel, head, we was because it was so dark. It's nothing like here in the U.S. where like on every freeway you have those big lights, stadium lights, whatever, and you could see. It was honestly, we didn't know where he was taking us. Yeah, we didn't know where he was taking us.
Everybody in the van was on edge, like where we going. So we would thankfully, we were the first stop because I don't know how I could.
And we were the last one.
Man,
I cannot.
It was crazy.
It was a little weird, but we obviously made the best of that experience because we were even like walking through the airport, coming like when we were in Cancun, we were like recording and like having fun and stuff. We were still, we were recording when we were walking outside to the Amstar bus. But anyway, that was a little sketch. It was dark. It was foreign place.
And when we pulled up to the hotel, the resort, it was interesting because most hotels in the United States, you actually walk in the building and check in. You actually
and it's well lit.
Outside at this one, you pull up and like it's nice little scenery, but you actually check in outside.
Yeah, their desks are outside.
And then once you go in, we have to go down to get to the actual resort.
Yeah. So upon checking in was great. Would you agree? Like with the attendant checking in?
Oh yeah, it was smooth.
Checking in was great. He asked if we had. Did he ask for our certificate?
I think he did.
Because we had pulled out. Yeah. So he asked like for our marriage certificate or whatever. And the reason is because we had got some specials for our honeymoon, and it was just proof of our honeymoon, things like that. And again, shout out to Shauna from Travel Under Sun. But she made sure we knew to bring that, so that way, just in case they needed to verify, we could. So check-in was smooth. We checked in. Then he told us he upgraded the room. Yeah. And so we were like, at this point, we're like, okay, we're here now. It's exciting. And so, like Adrian said, we had to go in the elevator down to go onto the resort property.
Then what you call them? What you call those people that help you?
A bellman? A bellhopper.
Whatever you want to call them. So he was leading us. He took us to the elevator. He was explaining stuff. And we're walking. Now, mind you,
it's
she's
dark
behind me.
And it's dark.
It wasn't that dark.
It was dark.
Okay, y'all gonna see. I'm gonna put the video on.
And tell us in the comments if it was dark, because it was dark.
So the guy's walking in front of me. She's behind me, so she don't see anything. And I saw a huge raccoon walk into the middle of our path. So at first, I wasn't gonna tell her nothing, like at all. But then I was like, babe, it's a big raccoon right there. And the guy in front of us, he's used to it. He just said, hold on. He walked towards it, and the raccoon just went on by his way.
I was so uneasy. Honestly, I was ready to go back home. I was ready to call it a wrap.
See, scary.
It's not even just that I'm scary. It's just that we didn't flown all this way to be on a nice property for a raccoon to cross our path.
They were
y'all,
friendly.
and we're on the beach. Who expects raccoon? Who expects to see a raccoon on the beach?
I don't know, but they were friendly, y'all.
Y'all, I ain't gonna lie. After that whole day, mind you, before going to the airport, we had to go take care of business with our marriage license. We had to go file it. We had to do a bunch of stuff. And so getting to this point where it's 10 p.m., we're in a foreign country, we're in new territory, we are walking, and I see a raccoon, I'm done. This day is done for me. Please God, nothing else needs to happen. I'm done. So that was my mindset.
So he took us to our room, and the room is gorgeous.
Beautiful. The
room is gorgeous. We had they gave us 2 glasses and a bottle of champagne.
So our gift was a bottle of champagne, which we still have.
We got to back up because on the door itself it had.
On the door they gave us a little banner and it said "Breathless Honeymooners." And the people across from us, one said anniversary, one said Breathless Club member. So basically they celebrate you. They celebrate whatever it is you're coming there for. And then when we walked in, we see the 2 glasses and the champagne. It was almost like a fairy tale, to be honest. It was this exists. So yeah. It
was nice.
Beautiful.
So after we checked in, we put our stuff down. Mm-hmm. We were starving because we haven't eaten since
in the airport.
Wendy's.
Yeah. So we were hungry.
So we go eat at, I forgot the name of the place, but I thought I had chicken or something.
Yeah, I think we might have both had chicken.
But we got there pretty late. Then we went to the nightclub just to see
we got there really late that they were about to close. We had to hurry up and sit down and order something. But yeah.
But the next day it was on and popping.
Y'all, beautiful. So we didn't talk enough about, I guess, the room, because I know we're about to talk about the amenities, because this is the truth about Breathless, right? The room was, when I say beautiful, and I know that there's levels to this, right? There are more beautiful rooms, there are, different things. There's rooms with swim outs. Then we had a room on the 3rd floor, right? 2nd or 3rd floor. Yeah. So obviously we don't have a swim out, but the view we had was great because we got to see a lot. We got to see the ocean if we look down the side of our room, and then we got to see the main pool where the DJ is. And so you got the palm trees and you got the scenery and you got the DJ right here. So if you didn't want to be in the mix with everybody, you could literally be on your balcony enjoying the same vibe. But the room itself, super spacious, no complaints. The room was spacious. We had a couch, a little couch chair. We had an actual couch chase, and on the other wall, coffee table, king bed. And then the shower was the glass all the way around shower, so straight see-through from the bed to others. It was beautiful. When I say, I told him when we were booking, this is what I wanted. I saw it, I'm this is what I want, and that's what we got. It was so beautiful. And so from there, the next day is when we could see everything in the daylight, right? Because when we walked through the property at night, I was so unsure. I think we both were unsure. We were walking around, I was we got to see this tomorrow because I'm not really sure how this is going to go. So, but yeah, so the next day it was on the property. It was
gorgeous. The trees, for one, walking out to the balcony, looking at all the pools, and it was gorgeous. And and certain parts of the day, it was a live DJ. Yeah. And man,
for about 2-3 hours, probably max 4 hours, but 2 to 4 hours. But yeah, the restaurants. So I know, if you're watching this and you really you're planning on visiting there. So there's several restaurants. We didn't get to try all of them. We did not. I think there are 2 we didn't get to try. Majority of them, yes, we did. So the restaurants, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the restaurants, but the restaurants included obviously Mexican food. It included Italian food, American food, and hibachi. And I think there's one more that I'm forgetting. But there's so many options. You're sure to enjoy something that's going to make you want to go back and get it again. And we fortunately got to try the hibachi, because the hibachi fills up very fast and you do have to make a reservation. When I say I was so grateful we got to try that, because knowing the experience that we were having coming to the resort, I would have been so upset if we didn't even get to try it. I would have been like, ugh. But anyway, so there are several things. Then I can't forget the buffet. There's the buffet for breakfast.
I remember the name of that one. I think that was called Spoon International.
Yeah. So that the buffet does breakfast and lunch, I believe.
I think you do dinner too.
I don't think so. Because every time we went to that Caliente restaurant, it was closed. We were sitting there waiting. Spoons were straight ahead. It was closed every night. They provided the dinner that one night where they moved it outside. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking of. So yeah, but other than that, the restaurant, the food options, I wouldn't change it for anything. Like, it was really good. We even loved the breakfast too at a certain point, because they had like seasoned potatoes. Like, they just had stuff for everybody. And it wasn't one of those things like, oh, well, you're in this country, you're gonna only eat this food. Like, it was everything just for like comfort. And then obviously we cannot forget to mention the drinks. They're included. So it's an all-inclusive resort. I was excited about that too.
Was too excited. If you know me, you know I really don't drink.
I don't know. You know us. You know we don't drink, but him more so than me.
I guess like a big difference.
Because you don't drink. So anyway, no, y'all, like the drinks. So
what was the green drink called?
I have no idea. Havana Light.
Havana Light. If you go to Breathless,
Miami Vice. Or
the Miami Vice.
Or Havana Light. So let me just say this. While we had no problems with the food, we were scared to eat the food, like to try the food, because of the names and the things that came in it. And if you know Adrian, he's strict. But
all right.
Anyway, the drinks, it took me a minute to really like understand, like, oh, this is included. Like, it's included. And so once we got used to that, we were in that pool ball. Throwing them back.
Like drinking in the pool. That's
we were throwing them back. And then I was looking at other people drinking, and I was like, oh, that looks good.
She was asking everybody, hey, what that is? Drunk.
Anyway, I was not drunk. Anyway,
the first night we got there, she got one drink and she was feeling it. Don't be lying.
You talking about the first night, right? Because we hadn't eaten.
She was out of. She took half a cup of whatever she had.
We had that first night. I can't remember, but we hadn't eaten, so y'all, it just got to me. But once we got into the swing of things, it was on, because that next day for breakfast, I had me a mudslide. It was so good, y'all. When I say that was an experience, Like, the food was good, the drinks were good. The desserts included. So basically anything that you can do there was included. Like, it wasn't like you show up and you have to pay an extra charge or anything like that. It was all included. The property in the daytime was so beautiful. It's
the beach. So I will say this.
The property.
The property is good, but the water, can I give the water like a
I will say this. I will give it a 2 too. But I will say this, if you work with a travel agent, if you have a really good travel agent like the one we had, they'll tell you about the beach, like in itself, near that property. And she did tell us that the beach wasn't that great right there. But I know he and I, we don't care to get in beach water. Yeah. Unless it's clear, we might. But we don't care to get in beach water. We really just like the scenery. Like, we like looking out at the water and being able to chill. So having the beach was good in itself.
The beach itself was good. It's just the water was.
And just to kind of give you context about how close the property is to the beach, close. Like, we were in the pool, like the pool bar. Mm-hmm. You could get out the pool bar, walk down a couple of stairs, and maybe walk about 20 steps. And
less than that.
Probably. Yeah, and then you're in the beach water. Yeah. So it's literally on the property. But I will say, like I said, working with a travel agent, they'll tell you the details that you need to know. And we were prepared pretty much. We knew not to expect like crystal clear waters or whatever in the beach or anything. But the property is so nice, you're not even going to care about how the water looks. There's too many pools and relaxation areas to be pressed about the beach. Like, way too many. There were 1, 2, 3. There were 3 pools, and they were all open to all of us. And one pool was empty the entire time.
What's the other side called?
Secrets.
So we stayed on Breathless.
Yeah, and then there's Secrets, which is the grown and sexy. Because they had an on-site steak restaurant that we didn't even know about. Now, I think that cost. But that was on the whole other side of the resort, that if you're on this side, you're not going to even care about what's over there.
So I'm going to say young people old people. Would you say that?
Sure.
Sure.
But anyway, the property was nice. In the daytime, you get to see everything. We traveled to the clubs. Like, we went to look at everything. Like, we were just walking around all day just to see like what it looks like, where everything is.
Everybody was friendly, including the guests. Now the guest was too friendly. I don't know, because we just got married, we had this glow to us, but everybody kept coming up to us, touching on us, and telling us their life story. It was just kind of crazy. Everybody was friendly.
Yeah, it was a nice vibe. There was no there was one lady who was super drunk every day. And you see her every day.
She was having a time of her
and
life.
She was just doing too much. But even that's not wasn't being like bad or rowdy or anything. She was just drunk. I think everyone was having a good time. Like, it was a good time.
So how many days we supposed to be there?
We booked Monday through Friday.
We booked Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
So in the beginning of the video, we talked about Hurricane Beryl. Now, before we took this trip, unfortunately, Hurricane Beryl was on our mind. And we did not know if we was going to be able to stay the entire trip.
Because Hurricane Beryl was expected to hit Cancun.
So before we even left Texas,
our place, we were literally packing our bag on the floor going, so we go get another flight.
So thankfully we did. We actually booked a flight, an earlier flight.
One day earlier.
Because if we didn't, 1 day or 2 days?
It was 1 day earlier. We were supposed to leave Friday. We left Thursday.
Okay, we left. Well, no, we left at 2 or 3 o'clock.
That's what time we left at night. Our flight was 1 day earlier.
Yeah, so if we didn't book that flight ourselves, we'd have been stuck.
Because so here's the thing too with the travel agents, they're gonna try all they can to help you do whatever. However, the moment you've checked in for your flight, which is 24 hours before your first flight going, they can't do anything until 24 hours after you land. So we would have been stuck waiting, but
we had the time of our lives at Cancun.
Yeah, we did.
Breathless, but however,
we squeezed it in too.
Bittersweet, because
we had to go. In the crack of dawn.
We can't wait to go back.
Yeah.
Like, after we got there at night, but the next couple of days, it was like, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful, gorgeous, had the time of our lives, but Hurricane Beryl came through and messed everything up. And the messed up part about it is we run home to get hit by Hurricane Beryl.
Y'all, so before we even transition into that, I just want to make sure we give enough tribute to Breathless the Resort, because it was such a beautiful property that it literally left us like wanting more. Like, we literally wanted to return back ASAP. So much so that I have literally been communicating with our travel agent to see if we can go back and just get like pricing and all that different things. But obviously we want to do it off season so that we're not running from hurricanes and things. And so it was, when I say it was breathless, literally it was breathless. Like, when you think about it after experiencing it, you're like, yeah, that was pretty cool. I would go back. We would definitely go. 11 out of 10, I would go back for sure. And I know now how we would navigate, because we already know the property and we would just be ready to experience and relax. So I would say, if you are going there, planning to go there, want to go there but haven't done any plans yet, just let us be the ones to tell you. We're going to keep it real. We're not going to get on here sugarcoating
and lie,
fluff and lying, anything. We're going to keep it real. The property is nice. There may be some nicer properties that have more beaches that look better, but in terms of the vibe and the offerings, it's nice. If you've never been anywhere, this is going to be like so great to you. And then if you have been somewhere, it's not, and if you've been better, you may be like, oh, okay, wasn't that bad, but it's not going to be the worst thing you've ever experienced at all. So let me make sure we are very clear on our thoughts about this property. It was just our leading up to the property that had us like, and then like Adrian said, once we got home, well, we had to wake up at what time? 2 a.m.?
Yeah.
So our flight was for like 6 a.m. in the morning, which means, if you know that, that means you have to be up probably at 2, gone by 3, so you could get there at least by 4, so you can have a 2-hour window. And that's exactly, I think, what we pretty much did. We had like 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours at the airport. I don't wish that on nobody. We had to get it. We didn't go to sleep.
We did. Well, we took a nap. We did take
2 hours.
We took a nap.
I think we probably went to sleep at like 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. And then we had to get up at 2 because they told us what time our car was going to be there.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. It was smooth getting to the airport, all that, but it was just crazy mentally, right? Like knowing we had to do this. We're in an airport we've never been in before. There's no food open.
A lot of people stayed behind too. They just was moving people that was on the beachfront.
Yeah.
Like the middle of the property.
Yeah.
So.
And that's another thing. We did get to like hear and see the preparation. We got the notice on the door about the storm, and it was just so bittersweet because we were like, man, we have to cut this trip short. And we were there for 4th of July. Actually, we came back home on 4th of July. Yeah. So it was nice, bittersweet. And then we came home, you know, that day, it was a Thursday, stayed home Friday. No, I think we actually went out on Friday. Yeah. For like a nice dinner or something. And then y'all, come Monday, we was at home for a whole week with no power. No power.
That was the way to start our first week of being married.
No power, y'all. Like this hurricane had knocked the whole city down.
Literally.
It knocked the whole city down. Like everyone kept being optimistic. Like, oh, well, we probably gonna go back to doing this tomorrow. We gonna go. The whole city was down for a week. So not only were we, you know, out for our vacation, we came back and we were still out of commission for a whole nother week. And the city, most of the city was still out of commission past that week too. So it was a really tough time mentally, just knowing what everybody was going through being here. But I think it's still beautiful that we can sit here and think back to our experience there and be so joyous about it.
Definitely going back for sure.
Oh yeah. For sure. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that because you know we gonna put it on film. And obviously when we went, we hadn't started the vlogging journey. So that means we didn't really get the footage we would normally get to show it to y'all. And so we do have a little pieces of footage, but they're not in obviously this format. And you may have, you know, seen a few throughout the video, but nonetheless, it was still a great time. We had a wonderful experience. Like we said, 11 out of 10 would recommend. And we would definitely go back. So
that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, I know we talked a lot, but like we said, if you've been rocking with us, you know we keep it real. Several people comment and say how they've been looking for honest reviews, and this is yet another honest review of Breathless Cancun Resort, all-inclusive resort in Mexico. And like we said, it was a good experience. So thank y'all so much for watching our video, and we definitely hope that you stay tuned. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so that we can keep coming across your feed. And we will catch y'all on the next one.